The following non-nominated, non-award-winning program is rated D for dumb.
The following podcast is rated D for dumb. You're listening to Dumbing It Down with Dave, the fastest podcast on earth. Listen to Dave commute to and from work on the New York State Thruway in his 2008 Kia-rio LX. He talks about pragmatism, truth, happiness, and the search for it all. Join Dave as he asks and tells you how life ought to be. And now, here's Dave.
Well, hello everybody. Welcome to Dumbing It Down with Dave. I'm in my kia-rio, headed for the New York State Thruway. You ready to dumb it down? Somehow I knew you would be ready to go. So it's October 27th, 2023. It is 10 o'clock a.m. here in New York. I am in my 2008 Kia-rio LX. It is gold colored, by the way. I don't really mention that too often. I don't really show the Kia anywhere, but I guess I could. I've showed it when it's broken down. I know that for a fact. I'm laughing because that's kind of a weird time, a weird decision to make. Hey, the Kia is about to die. Let's take a picture of it and show everybody on Facebook or wherever. So I know I've done that, but I don't post pictures of it to celebrate. But anyway, we'll get to a mileage report eventually, probably in the next 30 seconds to 5 minutes. Who knows? But I'll tell you how many miles I'm doing. For those of you that don't know, my name is Dave Canyon, and this is episode, I think, 319. 319. Now, don't be too impressed. I should be up to 500 or 600, but I took a podcation, like a 17-month podcation. That was the last one. I took a year podcation before that. So I've been podcasting for about 7 years or so, but I take these podcations and I put a lot of space in between episodes, and it's not good. It's not good to do that. I mean, if you want to cultivate a following and get momentum and all that stuff, but I did them. I'm glad I did the second one. It was a long time, but I'm back and I'm trying to do better and more. It is what it is, and no excuses, and we just move on. So anyway, I am headed to the New York State Thruway. I am a truck driver, and I try to do, at my peak, I was doing 2 episodes a week, one on the way into work, one on the way back from work, but that didn't always hold true either. Sometimes I just did 2 episodes at any freaking time I wanted to do, because the original theory was Dave going into work on Monday or whatever was the first day of the work week for me, was going to be different from Dave going home on the last day of the week. But it turns out I'm the same Dave no matter what, which I don't think is true. I think I'm a different Dave when I'm more exhausted. But again, that may not be true. I don't really know when I know that 6 o'clock at night, now that I'm working days, I used to work nights, like 6 o'clock at night, I noticed that I can be quite irritable. My wife will say something to me, I'll be like, oh, so that's what you think of me? Like last night I was chewing her out about something. Not chewing her out, but I was like being snippy or flippy or whatever the words are. Like a temperamental dog, like that. She was like, no, don't take it that way. I go, well, that's the way I hear it. Then I walked away and I took a shower and went to bed. So I get a little snippy at a certain time of the day. But anyway, it's not the time of the day and how exhausted I am. But it turns out, I feel like I'm the same Dave. So anyway, I'm trying to come back and try to come back strong and do podcast again. I feel good about things. A lot of changes in my life, and all for the positive, really, for the most part. And I'm going to try to share that all with you, when the time is right and all that other good stuff. I'm not going to force anything on you. All right, let's do a quick mileage report. Yeah, so I am a truck driver, but I am now in my Kia-rio. I bought this Kia-rio. It's a 2008. I bought it in 2010 with 50,000 miles on it. And I really didn't think it was going to last very long because it's a Kia. And back in 2010, I don't think anybody really thought, oh yeah, get a Kia and it'll last you forever. Or a Daewoo or any of these little crappy cars that I guess there was some thought that maybe these cars were from Korea or Vietnam. I don't know where these cars were made. I have no idea. I think I see somewhere on this car, like the window, something was made in Vietnam. I think. I don't know. It seems like a weird place to build a car. But anyway, all that being said, I bought it. I bought it with 50,000 miles on it. I've driven it as a commuter to work, all different types of jobs and all different types of locations. I drive it to leisurely. I drive it all over the place. And I've really put a lot of miles on it. So the mileage report, and by the way, I think I know I've challenged people to find somebody else, but nobody has seemed to find anybody else that does what I do. You're listening to a Dumbcast and a Carcast and a podcast. You're getting 3 shows in one, and you're paying the same price. So really, it's quite a unique show. And from what I understand, the last couple episodes with this new headset I have, the sound has been good. It's been good enough. I think I'm a little bit loud. I try to control myself. I yell. I'm a New Yorker, and I do like to yell. But I put a lot of miles on this car, and I have no other time. Dave, why don't you do this podcast in your closet like everybody else? Why don't you do it in your basement? Why don't you do it on the weekends? Why don't you do it any other time? Because I don't have any other time. As soon as this car gets parked at my house, I become a whole other person. Today, I will be a leaf burner. I will be burning 1 billion leaves at my property because I have Asian jumping worms. Where are they? I don't know. I'll try to put them in the show notes, but if I don't get around to putting them in the show notes, look it up. Asian jumping worms. And they are an invasive species, and they're bad. They do a lot of chewing and eating, and they're not like termites. They're like termites are for wood. Asian jumping worms are for soil. Same thing. They eat. They never sated. Is that the word? So anyway, and I'm a father. I'm a husband. I used to be a son, but my parents have now passed. So believe it or not, it's a relief. That's a burden I carried for a long time. I'm glad I don't have to worry about that anymore. But I do try to be a better husband. I try to be a better employee, a better father, a good neighbor, or whatever, a decent neighbor. I don't have any friends, but I try to be a good friend. But believe it or not, so Dave, how many friends do you have? Well, let's see. In a 5-mile radius, 0. In a 10-mile radius, 0. In a 30-mile radius, 0. Well, you know, I know people. People know me. I know of people. People know of me. I'm acquainted with people. People are acquainted with me. But am I going to call anybody tonight and go, hey, what are you doing? Want to go hang out? Want to play poker? Hey, want to go see a movie? Hey, you want to go to the races? Hey, want to do a podcast together? No, 0. I think I'd have to travel like 100 miles to get to my closest friend. But I do occasionally speak to people on the phone, I guess. I don't know, whatever. Most people call me. I don't call most people. And I'm okay with that. Oh, it sounds so sad. You sound bitter. No, I'm good. I'm 60 years old. It's taken me a long time to get here. And no longer than you, or anybody else who happens to be 60. It's just that I'm here now, and I appreciate life, and I'm okay with the way things are. Okay, so I put a lot of miles on this car. The mileage report is 322,000 miles, 174. Yeah. What the world needs now is love, sweet love, that the world needs now. Yeah. Thank you, Jerry. That's from the Jerry Lewis Telethon, which no longer exists, which I think is in my top 10 of things that the world is missing, and why we are so insane and divided, because we don't have things just like the Jerry Lewis Telethon, which really was the muscular dystrophy telethon, but we equated it with Jerry Lewis, so it became the Jerry Lewis Telethon. All right, so a lot of you who are new to the show go, well, what is the show about? So far, you've been talking for, I'll wear my glasses. I got to get my glasses. But, for like, I don't know how many minutes now, 7 minutes, you haven't said anything. No, this is the show. We already started it. Where were you? I'm telling you, I did the mileage report, and I tell you because I'm in a Kia-rio, and it's got 322,175 miles on it now. And, we're 9 minutes in. So, if I had a studio, I'd say, hey, I'm here in a bunker. I'm here in an undisclosed location. I'm here at the whatever studios. But I'm in my Kia. And it's strange to be driving a Kia to this point in 322,000 miles. And this car has been on hospice once, twice. It's like, all right, this thing's got to get laid to rest. She's dead. She's as good as dead. She's comfortable now, but I gotta say goodbye. And then something happens, and boom, it gets fixed. The next thing you know, she's running again. I'm not getting exactly 35 miles to the gallon like I used to. I get about like 30 some odd. But still, it's a great car. I love it. Okay, anyway, I don't love it because you don't love something that doesn't love you back. I like it a lot. All right. So a long time ago, I had Google voicemail because I love when you guys type in the Spreaker chat box. It's great. You engage. Linda's always there. She's fantastic. #1 fan. You know, she's always, engaging and supporting. I know if she was on Facebook, she'd be sharing, liking, and commenting, and but she's not on Facebook, and I don't even know if she's on Twitter anymore. But anyway, wherever she is, I try to share her stuff, all her shows, and she does my stuff. And I would do it with every other podcaster, but a lot of my podcaster friends have tailed off. They're on to other things now, probably because of my podcast, or they just don't like my political beliefs, or whatever. But what is this show about? Pragmatism, truth, happiness, and the search for it all. Trying to really hone in on pragmatism. It's hard because even though I might be the leading authority in the world, proclaimed leading authority in the world on pragmatism, I don't really know that much about it. I know what works for me, and I know that I'm not a bells and whistles guy. Of course, truth. I love the truth, and I wish I had a bigger staff. I wish I could do more research. I wish I had more time, but I don't. And when we talk about things that are social or political, all I want is the truth. I have no agenda. I like to think I don't lean left and I don't lean right. I walk the center line. I just want the truth. But I've had people say to me, "No, Dave, when I listen to this show, you definitely lean to your right." And I go, I wonder. I used to say, "Okay, well, if I lean to the right, then I lean to the right." And I'm still not going to say, "No, I don't." I always walk down the middle. But I am going to say that a lot of these people who have said that, they definitely veer off to the left. And maybe even further to the left. And that makes me seem like I'm further to the right. But I don't think I am. I think I'm just a good old guy, your everyday average Dave. Most people don't say that. Most people say everyday average Joe. But my name is Dave, so why would I give credit to Joe? So I'm your everyday average Dave, and I'm a nice guy. I try to idolize, or I did sort of idolize, but try to live my life like little Davy from Davy and Goliath, the claymation deal. And I don't even know if that was claymation. It doesn't seem like a Gumby was claymation. I think this was animatron. It was just something else. I don't know what this was. Not animatron. Whatever it was. But, so anyway, where was I? So, I try to live like little Davy from Davy and Goliath. And I don't think I lean left or lean right. But it is what it is. Pragmatism, truth, happiness, and the search for it all. Dumbing It Down with Dave is the show title. It's been like that forever. I've been told to change it. I've been told I've outgrown it. I've been told so many things, but whatever. But I like when you engage in the Spreaker chat box. And you can also tweet me at @DoneWithDave. You can email at dumbingitdownwithdave@yahoo.com. And whatever. But if you'd rather not type, long time ago, I had a Google voice mail, a Google phone number, and it was a great number. And then I stopped using it because I took a podcation, and all I had to do was like fake use it once or twice every so often just to keep it alive. And I did it. I lost it, but I got another number now. So in case you don't want to type, first of all, why are you talking so loud? Why are you talking so fast? Because I'm in a car and I'm from New York, so I talk fast. If you're not on Spreaker and you don't have access to the Spreaker chat box, and by the way, it doesn't take anything to sign up for Spreaker. And you don't have to pay to listen on Spreaker. You have to pay to produce a show on Spreaker, but you don't have to pay to listen to Spreaker. SPR, by the way, not speaker. Spreaker. SPREAKER. It might be actually one of the worst names in podcasting for a platform. But they've kept it. They've tried to change it, but they never did. So, Spreaker. My Google voicemail number is 347. It's the Dumbing It Down with Dave hotline, by the way. To make it sound cool, we'll make it a hotline. It's not a hotline. But 347, the customer service line for Dumbing It Down with Dave. Whatever you want to call it. It's a number. You call it, and you're always going to get the voicemail. So leave a message, 30 to 60 seconds. Keep it clean. If you want to hear it on the air, keep it clean. If you use any profanity, I'm not going to play it. I'm just telling you right now. I'm not going to play it. 347, I'm not anti-profanity. I'm just not profanity. Does that make sense to you? I do that a lot. I'm not anti a lot of things, but I'm not exactly pro, right? I'm not exactly for it. So the Google voice number, if you want to call and instead of typing from wherever you are in the world that I know of, the number is 347-338-8487. It's not a bad number, right? 347-338-8487. That is the Dumbing It Down with Dave Google voicemail, the Dumbing It Down with Dave hotline, customer service, human resources, whatever you want to do. That's it. 347-33. It's the help desk. Call the help desk. 347-338-8487. That's the chat line. Call the chat line. I could call it a million different things. 347-338-8487. It'll be in the show notes. And while I'm talking about that, let's play this.
Hey, Dave, it's Luke. I'm up in Michigan. I just wanted to give you a call and tell you I'm really liking the format of the new show. I can really tell that you're making some changes and doing some things a little bit different than you normally do, and I really like it. I think it's some good stuff. I did want to mention, I remember you said something about if somebody can find a platform you're not on, Ghana, Ganna, I believe is how you spell it. It's a smaller podcast host, not a host, but whatever. But it is one that you're not on. I used to be on it, and I got quite a bit of listens off of that platform. So just recommend you to get put out on there. And yeah, have a good day, and we'll talk at you later. Let's keep up the good work.
All right, that was my good buddy Luke from Michigan. He said he was, and he used to have a podcast called Luke Loses, and he was a bigger guy and like me, and he was trying to lose weight, and he had his Luke Loses show, and it was all about his struggles. So the episodes are still out there, but he doesn't do them anymore. Luke Loses, and that's Luke. Luke, I won't say his last name because he didn't give me permission to. But there you go. So that's an example. That was like all right, 59 seconds. Yeah, so 30 seconds, 15 seconds, or whatever. Try to keep it a minute or less, but you don't feel like you have to do the whole minute. Say what you have to say, then move on. So thank you, Luke. I appreciate that. Ghana. I ended up getting gonorrhea from that, believe it or not, because I looked it up and I tried to sign up, and I'll try it again, but I couldn't get there. I couldn't get to wherever it was where I could upload my podcast. So, and I don't even know if it's possible. And, so I joke, I didn't get gonorrhea, but since the name of the platform is called Ghana, of course, that would be the low-hanging fruit humor that I would resort to in order to get a cheap laugh. Yeah, so I got gonorrhea trying to get Ghana as a platform to put my show. But I'm everywhere else, wherever. You name a podcast platform, I'm on it. So look it up before you send me something. Say, hey, Dave, you're not on this, because I know I was on 30. One time I counted, I was on 30 different platforms. And you know what? My listenership went up like zero. Most of the people listen to me on Spreaker. But no, I do get a lot of people on these other platforms, and I don't know how or why or whatever, but they do. And but I push everybody towards Spreaker, mostly because I love the Spreaker chat box. You get to comment. You get to respond to the chat box. I get to see it. And I don't respond to the chat box because the way the chat box is set up, I can't respond individually. So I'll do a wrap-up show. And I'll do like every 3, 4, 5 episodes, which I haven't done in a long time, which is probably what's going to be next. Now that I'm getting back into the swing of things, I'll do wrap-up shows. So I'll talk about what I talked about on the show, and then I'll read the listeners' comments, and people seem to enjoy that. Okay. Good. So that's it. I can explain a lot. Mileage report. I can do the weather report. It's a guess what the weather is in upstate New York on the New York State Thruway, southbound at 10:21 in the morning. It's a beautiful day in New York. I'm not making this up. It's like 70 some odd degrees. We're having this crazy springtime weather in the fall. Finally, it's the end of the relaxation seasons. Spring and summer and now fall, and the weather's been fantastic. I'm out there, I'm raking leaves, I'm mowing the lawn, I'm getting a tan. It's really fantastic, the weather. We didn't get this weather all summer. A lot of you got like a heat wave, and I know Linda, she lives in a place where she's either on fire or she's freezing. She very rarely, there's a very short amount of time in between those seasons twice a year where she'll get, oh, this is nice, I can walk outside in the desert or wherever she is. And she doesn't live in the desert, but might as well be sometimes. And So there's only she'll put in the comment box, the amount of time she gets to enjoy in between, like what we would consider winter and spring or summer, and between summer, fall, and winter. I don't even know if she gets a fall or if she gets a spring, but I know every time when her and I used to correspond greatly, she was doing Awesome Insanity Surfers, and I was doing my 2 shows a day, and then she did this other show, and it was all over all of that. I really enjoyed it. But I know that the area she lived in would either be on fire, or she'd have 12 feet of snow, and she would show us where she shoveled out to walk out of her house, or shoveled in, or whatever. So it's kind of crazy where she is. All right, if she wants to put it in the chat room where she is, she can. I'm not going to do that. And I think I've done it before, but I think it's not a good idea these days. I'll let her divulge where she lives, and you can decide for yourself. So, so there you go. So, I did everything. I did the weather report. The weather's beautiful. And, people say, hey, Dave, what are you, the Chamber of Commerce for New York State? Well, what do you want me to do? I'm in the car. And I'm telling you the mileage report, and I'm telling you the weather. What's the weather like when you're driving? Do you have one hand on the wheel? Yes, I have one hand on the wheel. And, I drive an automatic. That's not a stand-up. I'm not shifting. And, it's whatever. It's the weather. All right, let's move on. So 20 minutes in, 21 minutes, you say, Dave, did you get to it? You got to get to it, Dave. No, I've been getting to it. This is it. This is the show. You get a preamble. Dave, 21-minute preamble? No, there was a lot of things in there that were it. The voicemail was important. I wanted to get to the voicemail. Luke left me that voicemail back in 1992, before the internet. And I haven't played it. It's been sitting there. He's probably probably why he doesn't listen to the show anymore. Because, he's upset that I didn't play his voicemail. Like, what kind of a guy is that? He asks for a voicemail. I give him a voicemail. He doesn't play it. Ugh, I'm not his friend anymore. Yeah, he could be that childish. Why not? No, I don't know. I'm just making that up. But I would act that childish. That's me all the time. Why would I do this for anybody? They didn't do this for me. Well, I did it for them. They didn't do it back for me. Yeah, I'm a big complainer. Yeah, at least I admit it. A lot of people deny, it's not like that at all. Yes, you are. Well, I know I am. So anyway, so there's a lot going on in the world. This is it. Truth, pragmatism, search for happiness, and all that good stuff. And I'm pulling into a truck stop, by the way. I got to get gas. I forgot all about that. I started this podcast. I'm like, wow, I got to actually hit the pause button, and I got to get gas. I'm down on E. Even though it's a Kia, it does burn gas. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go get gas, and then I'm going to hit the pause button. And then when I come back, I bet you I wonder if it sounds a little bit different. I wonder if it's going to be louder or lower. I don't know. We'll find out. You'll know before me. No, I'll know before you, because I always preview the show before I post it, whatever you want to call it. But I'm not going to keep this on while I'm fueling, because usually it's a weird thing to do. But nobody's here. I could do it. But you know what? I'm not going to do it. You know what? Hold on. Can I do it? Let me see. Where's my wallet? Let me see. No, it's going to take me too much time. I'll be right back. You won't notice it, but I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. How did it feel? Did it seem like I was gone a long time? I was gone a couple of minutes. I was almost going to keep recording, just a little inside information, right? No big deal. That when I fueled, I was going to keep it recording, because I can do that and just fuel and do that. But then I had this panic moment where I couldn't find my wallet. That's why I was like, no, I got to go, because I couldn't find my wallet. I was like, oh my God, I might have to go back to work. I'm like a half hour south. I'm very careless with my wallet. And, but anyway, it was in my lunch bag, which it is usually. I don't leave it in my pocket because I don't like sitting on it, because it hurts. So I usually put it somewhere where it's not I'm not sitting on it. Anyway, so I had that moment of panic, and then I said, all right, now I can fuel with and record, and then go, nah, let's just get this over with and get out of here. And wouldn't you know it, when I got there was nobody there, and all of a sudden, 3 people, like somebody said, cue the gas guzzlers or whatever. Next thing you know, there's 2 cars in the next island, 1 car behind me, and 1 car waiting. I mean, it was really kind of interesting. By the way, I also paid, interesting to me, $3.49, $3.49.9. That's what I just paid. It's a lot cheaper in Jersey, but I'm not going to Jersey today, so there you go. All right, I don't know what you're paying where you are, but if you want to put that in the chat box, you can. What are you paying for regular 87, and of course it said can contain 10% ethanol, methanol, whatever that is. So there you go. There's that. Well, so there you go. I played the voicemail. I did all that good stuff. Let's just do Dumbing It Down with Dave, all right? We're going to get to it. This is it. What a crazy world we're in. I could talk about Joe Biden. I could talk about, of course, Israel and Gaza and all that other stuff. And I got to tell you, I am siding with Israel on this. I don't see any reason not to. A lot of people, very surprising to me, are supporting Hamas. But let me say this. I don't have anything against Palestinian people. I can't say I actually know anybody that's Palestinian. Just like many of these culture wars or whatever, like, listen, I don't know most people out of my, circle. And it doesn't matter whether you're white or black or gay or transgender or lesbian or Muslim, or it doesn't matter. I know people. And I like everybody. I like everybody just fine. I dislike everybody as equally as I like them. I'm a little bit unique because I don't have a requirement for you or anybody to be in my life personally. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I meet people, I go, okay, well, I met you, and scoot along. That sounds horrible, doesn't it? No, I scoot along. I hope they scoot along. It's like, okay, because I've been down that road. I've been down that road of relationships, and you go, oh, well, this is going to be nice. And then it turns out to be, bleh, wow, where did this go south? Dave, it sounds like more of a you problem than a they problem. I'm like, okay, listen, we've gone down that rabbit hole on this show a billion times. It doesn't matter if it's a me problem or a they problem. I just know that at 60 years old, I'm really not looking forward to having personal relationships with people, and then only to find out 3, 6 months, 9 months, whatever, down the road, I'm like, oh, they're depleters. And if you're new to the show, you don't know what a depleter is. And if you're a long-time listener to the show, you might go, oh, is he going to explain depleters again? This is another depleter show? He's depleting me, talking about depleters. Basically, they're vampires. Depleters are people who take, and they don't give. They love talking about themselves, but they don't like listening about you, and they don't offer you as much as you offer them. And it's a very imbalanced relationship, and I started to really resent all of my relationships because I realized that all of them were depleting me. There was a lot of giving, and I'm a very good giver, believe it or not. I am. I've been a great giver ever since, because that's how Davey was on Davey and Goliath. At the end of the episode, he might have been selfish, he might have made a mistake, but his father would explain to him, Davey, and the dog Goliath would, Davey, God doesn't like that. God don't like that. And then you learn a lesson. You go, you know what? Then I learned. I watched every episode. I have the box set, by the way. Who has the Davey and Goliath box set? I do. And I watch it from time to time because I need a little. That's my church. That's my religion. I think they made a mistake. Stop. I know it must have been an arduous process making that show. I wish they'd do a documentary about it. I wish they'd learn more about the guy. There's like one guy that really ramrodded that whole thing. But anyway, yeah, I don't have anything against people. So the Palestinian people, no problem with. That they should have their own country? Yeah, of course. Their own state, their own city. A place to live, I guess, yeah. I don't know how you get apartheid out of Israel. I don't. If anybody wants to share with me, if you're pro-Hamas or you're pro-whatever, or you're anti-Israel, you go, Dave, they have an apartheid state, apartheid. I'd like to hear it. I find that hard to believe that Israel would be like that. I don't find Israel to be a perfect country, but good enough for me, and I support them. So I hope that they, and the way that the Hamas tortured and did all the things, although I haven't seen any of it, but I only have heard of it, so I'm not denying that the evidence is true or that there's proof. Of course, evidence doesn't mean proof. But anyway, so that's the story. That's my little bit, and I hope you guys tune in for episode 320. We're making progress. We're going to get to it a lot sooner. We're going to do a little bit less preamble as time goes on, and it is what it is.
If you are enjoying subscribe. Also, share.
All right, there you go.
Social